Hey guys, welcome back to another video, or welcome if you're new. My name's Courtney and I love talking about books, and today we are doing my March TBR utilizing my TBR jar as usual. However, I did just record this video. It was a really good one. I picked all the prompts. I picked all of the books. And then I immediately went to go edit it, realized no sound, and it was on slow-mo. But it's okay, deep breaths, you know? We can only control what we can control, and this is my test for today. I could have gotten angry, I could have decided to say screw it and not do the video at all, but instead we are sitting down, we are improvising, and we are working with what we've got. You're not really gonna get to see me in real time picking the prompts because that footage did not work out. But that's okay. I will go through in order of the ones that I ended up picking and the books that I ended up choosing. So, oh, also, if you've been around for a while, for a little while, I've not been around that long, but whatever. If you've been around, you might have noticed that I usually have prompts in my TBR jar as well as specific books. I did go and decide to change this around a bit, and I separated the TBR jar prompts from the specific book titles, and I put them in this little jar. Because what I've realized, hold on, uncomfortable. What I've realized is that when I pick specific books, I sometimes don't end up reading them. Like I don't get as much choice. So this will be maybe like a read it or unhaul it type of a deal. We shall see. Also, I'm trying to do this fast because now my camera's like wanting to die. It's been a day, guys. So now we are just picking from the actual prompts, which gives us leeway to choose books we actually want to read. And I think this will make me more successful in completing my TBR. So, without further ado, the first pick that we did from the jar, which unfortunately we're not doing in real time, is a sci-fi book. And I decided to go with Leviathan Wakes by James A. Corey. This is one that I got from my brother-in-law for Christmas, and I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I'm excited for it because it is outside of my usual genre. It is outside of my comfort zone, and I'm a bit intimidated by it because she's large. But again, like I said, I'm excited for it, and I just keep thinking about it. So we did end up putting this one on the TBR. All I know is this is like following different people in space. You have Jim Holden, who is an XO of an ice miner, whatever that means. And he runs from the rings of Saturn to the mining stations. You have a detective who's looking for a girl who's very hard to find because this system in space has billions of people. You've got rebels. It's a space opera, according to George R.R. Martin. So that's all I need to know. I'm excited. First book on the TBR. Now, the second prompt that we chose was book with an illustrated cover, and I was between, what was I between? I was between Blood Mercy, which is a fantasy, as well as Ready or Not by Cara Bastone, and Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. I ended up going with Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young because this is a new release that I am super excited for. I've heard really good things. This is a second chance romance between, it's either second chance or like Marriage in Trouble, but this is between Sarah and Caleb Linwood. They were high school sweethearts. And I don't know, I've just heard really good things about this. I've heard that because they have a really deep connection and they're working on getting their relationship back in order, that the chemistry and like the spice between them is really good in this book. So I'm intrigued, can't wait to read this. That was the second pick. The third prompt that we got was book with a color in the title. It's never focus. Book with a color in the title, and we really only had one option because the only other books on my TBR card that even have anything to do with color are Light Lark and Darker Shade of Magic, but like darker shade, light, those aren't actually colors. So we ended up going with A Dawn of Onyx by Kate Golden, which I'm really excited for. I was hoping that in this TBR video, I would get a prompt that allowed me to pick this one because I've been seeing this around a lot more lately. Bestie Bailey, I'll leave her handle here, from Instagram, actually recently read this and loved it, so I'm even more excited to read it. And all I know about this is that the world, or like the magic system, is based on different types of crystals, which I think is really cool and unique. So very excited for that aspect. And I've also heard that the Onyx Court is like the most dangerous. This follows Arwen Valendale, who ends up getting taken prisoner by the Onyx King. Again, dangerous court. She gets taken prisoner and there are ancient wicked woods. She has to use her rare magical abilities, and she kind of ends up working with a fellow prisoner, a fellow male prisoner who I believe is probably going to become the love interest. So all of that sounds really, really fun and interesting, and I can't wait to read this. The fact that it's also pretty small for a fantasy book has me excited. So yeah, third pick was this one. And then we chose the prompt of a new release. They're just not gonna load, guys, sorry. A new release, which this was the other prompt that I was looking for in order to be able to choose Out of the Woods, but because we already chose Out of the Woods, this allowed me to pick the only other new release that I really had on my cart, which is none other than Rebel Witch by Kristen Cicerelli. I am so excited for this. Heartless Hunter, back when I read it, was a 5-star. Absolutely loved it. It follows Rune Winters, who is a witch, and Gideon the Witch Hunter, so it's very much enemies to lovers because obviously one is hunting the other. And like I said, I loved the first book. I don't remember everything that happened, so I need a refresh. I don't think I'm gonna do a full reread, but I am gonna do like a refresh and look back at my notes and stuff to prepare myself for this one. But yeah, this is what we chose for new release. I'm very excited for this. I've heard nothing but amazing things. Everyone's saying that this is even better than the first book. So fourth pick was Rebel Witch. And then the next prompt that we picked out of the jar was read the book on your TBR with the longest title. So we ended up figuring out that the only books on my shelves and on my TBR card that are on my TBR, the longest titles still only have 5 words in the title, and it was between Storm of Secrets and Sorrow, which is book 2 in the Legacy series, and then A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan. I ended up going with this one because, for one, it's cozy fantasy, which is a little bit different than the other 2 fantasy we already have, and because this has been on my TBR literally forever. I have heard Katie is reading say really good things about this. I think this is I don't know if it's one of her favorite series, but she really likes it. So all I know about this one is that it's kind of like Emily Wilde, except Lady Trent, the main character here, studies dragons. So picture Emily Wilde vibes with that like academia type vibe, light academia, but with dragons. So that has me very intrigued. There are like diagrams I know in here of dragons. Love this cover. So yeah, this was our 5th pick. And then the last prompt that we ended up getting from the jar was book with a 1-word title, which is pretty funny because we went from longest title to 1-word title, which I kind of cheated a little bit. The options on my cart that I had were Lightlark and Graceling, but because we already chose 3 fantasy books, I ended up cheating a little bit, and I chose Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh. Technically, we only have 1 word and 1 number. So yeah, this was my 6th and final choice. I am currently reading and loving Redeeming 6, so I figured why not put this one on the TBR and allow myself to read Gibbsy and Claire's story, because they are a couple in this series that I've wanted their story. I've wanted more of them since book 1. And I have kind of heard mixed things about this one. Some people, it didn't really go the way they wanted it to. They found it frustrating, and other people really, really loved this one. I'm super excited. All you really need to know about Boys of Tommen is that it is very heavy. These characters go through a lot. They have a lot of trauma. Check your triggers. Like, it's hard to read at times, but you also love the characters and feel so deeply connected to them. I'm not going to talk much about this series though, because I am, like I said, reading Redeeming 6. I'm doing a reading vlog separately that I'm reading those in, so I'm not gonna harp on this too much, but I'm just really excited for this one to put on my TBR. We ended up having 1 sci-fi, 2 romances, but they're both very different, and 3 fantasies. We have an adult fantasy, a YA fantasy, and more of like a cozy fantasy. So I do think that we have a wide variety of books, and I'm really excited for this TBR. These are all books that I'm like actually super excited for, so I am thinking that this monthly TBR will hopefully go well, knock on wood. But yeah, let's come over here and put the books on the TBR cart for the second time. Okay, I wanted to put these in order of height. So we have Leviathan Wakes by James A. Corey, Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh, Rebel Witch by Kristen Cicerelli, A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan, A Dawn of Onyx by Kate Golden, and then last but not least, Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. To wrap up this video for the second time, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy watching these kind of TBR videos, please let me know in the comments. Comment, like I said, and please subscribe so that you don't miss any more from me. When you guys do that kind of thing, it lets me know what you guys like and what to make more of. So definitely make sure to do that. And I would love to know down below in the comments what you are looking forward to reading in March, in the spring in general. What's on your immediate TBR? What are you the most excited to read? Let me know. And yeah, just thank you so much, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!